Hey guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. My nickname is iFaceBomb, and in this episode we're going to take a closer look at the brand new Tier 8 American T42 medium tank. During this tank review we'll be looking into whether it's worth buying, how its tank statistics looks. In addition, we're going to compare it against similar performing tanks, but also we're going to do a detailed armor profile analyze of not only this tank but also other tanks that share its playstyle. Afterwards I will take you guys alongside a couple of battles which I just had, which hopefully will give you an idea of this tank in action. And finally I will finish up with a quick sum up and my rating of this tank. Let's get started. So the T42. Let's take a first look at the premium shop where the tank is for sale and at the free packages that Wargaming has to offer us. So here we are in the premium shop. As you quickly notice, Wargaming is offering us 3 various kits: the ultimate, the extra and the standard. Difference between those kits: standard bundle contains the T42, a 3D style, 2 different 2D styles, and we're going to receive not only 1 complete 3 brothers in arms per crew, but actually receive 2 of them. You can see the pictures of the 2 various crews right here and some various bonuses. If you pick the extra kit, you get 10 extra missions of the ×5 for a victory. You receive some extra personal reserves here and here, and in addition you receive 4,000 gold. And then if you pick the ultimate package, you receive 35 missions instead ×5 and 15 personal reserves for the 100% XP and 300% crew XP and 15 times the personal reserves instead of the 5, and you will receive some gold. So initially guys, tank statistics did not look anything special, but I also had in my mind that I was going to purchase some gold. So this package already offers you that 7,500 gold. The best of this whole package in my opinion is not the tank, is not the gold, it's actually the crew. You get not 1 complete crew, you get 2 complete 0 skill crew, meaning 3 brothers in arms perk for each of those crew members. And as I personally do not have many the so-called 0 skill crew members for the American nationality, then this offer is especially good for me. So in other words, for my currency, if I was going to buy 7,500 gold, that would cost me 278 crowns. So 50% of the cost for the whole package here is actually the gold, meaning the value of the T42, the 3D style, the 2D style, the 8 brand new 3 brothers in arm per crew members, 35 missions, the garage slot, the special battle mission, the total 45 personal reserves, has a value of 7,500 gold, which makes it easier to put it into context. Would I pay 7,500 gold for this? Okay, let's jump back to the garage. Quick note for the bonus missions together with the package. You have the bonus for multiplier, then we have the mission bonus help is on the way, and the third one that offers you a nice personal training manual and in addition a universal manual. The reason why I picked up this tank, even knowing that most likely I will not enjoy this tank, at least not to the level that would make it okay for me to buy it. And yes, I'm not a community contributor, I'm doing this purely for interest and to hopefully help you guys out whether you should make the decision or not. But I must admit, if the 3 crew members were not there and if I was not exactly needing that extra gold, then I think there would be a good chance that I would not buy it. So the T42. So as we noticed, we get some extra camouflage with this tank. Check the 3D styles here guys. If you're wondering what these voodoo dolls are here on the side, this is the last artillery players I've been playing against, and the one without the head, that's the guy who was playing the wheeled vehicle. So in total 5 artillery players and 1 wheelie. Check the amount of details on this 3D camera, it's crazy. Machine guns and even a minigun, which would have been nice actually if it could be used, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting 3D camo. Lot of nice details. So here we had the 3D camo, we also have 2 other camouflage. So here we got the first one, that's called the boys outfit, black and red finish. It actually looks quite nice design. And then the other is called the 7 outfit, quite impressive, very nice. But the best thing about both of these camouflages, it is that you can fit it on any tank you want. So for example, here's the CS52 list I made a review on not that long time ago, and let's take a look on the camo. So here we changed to the boys outfit, you can see nice red dark finish, and then the 7 outfit looks really nice. But then again, this tank likes most camouflage. Okay guys, so let's start out with the crew. Do notice that I have used 4 small skill books. For the commander, I've of course picked a 6th sense and then situational awareness, and the 4th skill is going to be recon to improve the view rate. For the gunner, I have chosen snapshot, repairs, and I will follow it up with camouflage. For the driver, I have picked smooth ride and off-road driving, and I will continue at repairs and concealment. Keep in mind that I have not selected clutch braking due to this tank has a very nice traverse speed. And for the loader, I have picked repairs, concealment, and for the 4th skill, I will most likely pick safe stowage. For the equipment, I have picked turbocharger, vertical stabilizer, and binoculars. We will go into the detail of the equipment just in a second. For the ammunition, I have chosen 28 AP, 28 APCR shells, and 4 high explosive. And for the equipment, I have selected small repair kit, small first aid kit, and a case of cola. For the directive, I have selected the natural cover due to I have plenty of them lying around. So looking at the firepower, we have 280 alpha damage, which is quite nice. In general, American T8 tanks of this type usually would have 240. Average penetration of only 190. That is not very good, guys. 190 penetration. If you look at the ammunition, the AP shells, the average penetration of 190. Keep in mind that preferential tanks usually has 186. And then when looking at the shell velocity of 814, simply not good enough. So the alpha damage looks really nice, but when you only offered an average penetration for 190, you must at least have some kind of shell velocity. APCR, average penetration, guys, check this, 268, really nice penetration and amazing shell velocity. The problem I have here, guys, is in the games I've had with this tank, it just changes from being a really bad tank to being a really good tank. It's like day and night. Yes, I bought this tank today. Yes, I have not played 100 games in the tank yet, but it was perfectly clear for me. From the games where I primarily fired the AP shells, I found myself frustrated and cursing too many times because the tank just did not behave. And then whenever I switched to the APCR shells, everything was just like a fantastic day. The sun just like rose up. Even the birds came out from the clouds. You could nearly see the wargaming staff just waving at you, smiling at you while you're firing those gold shell one by one. The difference is just too big. The whole problem, if this was a Tech 3 tank, fair enough. The problem with this is that this is a premium tank. The main thing for me in a premium tank is to earn credits. Yes, it is nice that you can train your crew, but the main reason, at least for me, is that I want to earn credits. What this gigantic difference does is that actually it removes the whole potential of the tank to actually earn proper credits in most of the games. Of course you can have fantastic games with this figure, but if you want to play competitive, then you find yourself several times simply needing to change it to be, especially if you're fighting at the ridge lines. Anyway, an APCR shell will set you back, yes, 4,400, guys. Let's continue. In addition, I have 4 high explosive shells with a potential average damage of 370. The rate of fire 734, so yes, if you find this tank to be fast enough, then you can definitely fit the gun rammer instead. So as you notice, we go from 817 up to 735 seconds per shot. Gun traverse speed 4122, it has a nice gun depression -10, but then again, this figure is not uncommon amongst its American medium and heavy tank brothers. Aiming time 1.8 seconds, which looks good, and the dispersion of 0.3 looks very good. So you might be thinking, why would I even need a vertical stabilizer on this tank? The problem is because when you move the tank, when you turn the turret, when you fire, gun bloom becomes quite big. When looking at the statistics, I actually ended up comparing it against an IS-3 gun handling. Yes, an IS-3. And to my surprise, guys, the IS-3 actually has better gun handling figures on the move and in the heat of the battle than this tank. When I had my first games in this tank, I did not fit the vertical stabilizer on purpose because I was stuck in the dilemma between the vertical stabilizer, the gun rammer, the improved ventilation. One thing is for certain, this tank is dependent on the vertical stabilizer. The values for those snapshots, for those ridgeline shots, are simply not good enough. HP wise, we got 1350, the hull armor 102.76.25, and the turret armor looks quite nice, 216. Is this turret armor actually better than the Super Pershing? Because on paper, it looks amazing. But quick spoiler alert, guys, this number is not what it seems, as is neither the aiming time and the dispersion values. The tank has 16.11 horsepower per ton due to the turbocharger and a top speed of 56.5 and a really nice reverse speed of 23. Keep in mind that the turbocharger is assisting with +5 forward and +3 reverse speed. The concealment values due to the directive will be 24.5, 583, and when moving 19.1, 455. The view range, guys, 540. It's a beautiful view range, guys. This is achieved by a base view range of 400. Do notice that this tank, just before it was released, it had a view range of 380, but was buffed just before its launch. So you might be wondering, why am I having those binoculars fitted? The thing is, when my commander has fully trained his situational awareness and has either fully or partially trained his recon skill to a satisfactory degree, then I will change the binoculars and switch them with the coded optics. Signal range 793. Okay guys, let's continue with the tank comparison. So here for the comparison, I have chosen to compare it against the Tech 3 Pershing, the Premium TL1 LPC, and in addition, I have selected the heavy T42 E5 Super Pershing heavy tank. The reason for this, and as the T42 E5 already shares a lot of similarities, and if you already own this tank, then it might give you a better idea of what the T42 is in comparison. Okay guys, so here we're going to start off with the average damage. For the T42, it's 280. Average penetration, 190, 190, 208, 230. So for the medium tanks, share around the same value. Though I must say the 190 for Tier 8. It's just too low in my opinion. So the rate of fire can primarily be compared with the TL1 LPC as they share the same damage. With a 100% skilled crew, the gun loading for T42 will be 8.73 seconds, where the TL1 LPC has a 8.44 seconds. Pershing and the T26 E5 has not surprisingly a faster reload speed, but that is at a cost of 40 less alpha damage per shot. But in general those values are similar. You can see it here on the average damage per minute: 1926, 1832, 1991 and 2086. You can definitely see the similarities between the TL1 LPC and the T42. For the gun depression, minus 10 degrees, which is not very uncommon for the American ridgeline warriors, and we have a fantastic aiming time 192 and the dispersion is 0.32. This looks so much better than any of its comrades. But keep in mind guys that the values after firing, when moving the tank, when turning the turret are horrible. But luckily guys, you can fit a vertical stabilizer. HP wise 1350. When comparing, we are at the lower end of the hull armor. Nothing special. Quick spoiler alert, this tank has no hull armor. Looking at the turret armor guys, 260. So you might be saying, yes, this number looks awesome. This is awesome. This tank is the new king. 216. Look, this is the new king. Nope. It's not. It is kind of ironic how many numbers on this particular tank are actually not what they seem. It is like it is like what you see, what you hear is not true. You should not trust the figures that you are seeing. Reminds me of a certain politician. Anyway guys, we will take a look at the turret armor profile, and for a better comparison I will show you guys the armor profile of the Pershing and the T26 E5. Looking at the horsepower per ton, 14.8, it is definitely in the lower end in this comparison. This is also why I fitted the turbocharger. But keep in mind, if you are happy with the speed, then definitely the gun rammer will be way better. The top speed 51.520. Here we can definitely see a class difference where the medium tanks are able to achieve around the 50-20 and where the heavy tank lags behind with 40 and 50. The tank offers a nice traverse speed of 43, which is in the middle when compared against the medium tanks. And furthermore, concealment values similar to the Pershing, both while stationary and moving. For the view range, we are able to achieve the amazing view range of 400, signal range wise 745, which is near to the same as most of its brothers. Okay guys, let's take a look at its armor profile. Okay guys, so here we have the T42, but for this review we're going to spice it a bit up guys. Compare the armor profile against the M26 Pershing, against the TL1 LPC and the T26 E5 Patriot. And why have I chosen to do this? It is simply because that the values on paper should be the best. And I'm going to show you why you cannot rely on the figures. Okay, let's get started. So for this comparison, I have chosen that for each of these 4 tanks, we have a T42 that is shooting at it with either AP or the APCR shells. Keep in mind, the AP shell had the 190mm and the APCR have an impressive 268mm of penetration. So looking at the AP, this looks quite good. If we compare this against the M26, yeah, this is like green everywhere. So far so good. TL1 LPC, yeah. Wow, what a gun mantle. Then we look at the Patriot. Yes. A quick look again at the T42 and the Patriot. Of course, the heavy tanks has better hull armor. What happens when we change the ammunition from AP to APCR shells in all of the armor profile scenarios? Suddenly, this tank looks like a broken mirror. If we zoom in here, you can see this is like the perfect RNG turret. Plenty of green spots. But how about if you compare it against the Pershing, switch to APCR? Not really big difference. You can still pen most of it, unless you hit around the gun mantle and not inside it. When we look at the TL1 LPC, switching to APCR, check this, and suddenly we get a nice green gigantic area here around the gun mantle. The Patriot, AP, APCR. The Patriot definitely lightens up, but it's still hard to penetrate even with the APCR shell. 40% chance. Even we hit it in the gun mantle. If you hit above the gun mantle and we hit the angled part, the shot will simply bounce. It's quite difficult to hit exactly these spots here. Let's take the turret downwards, where it can hide its cupola effectively. This definitely looks like interesting figures. What about the TL1 LPC? We will take the turret downwards. Impressive angles. The only downside is that the cupola is so gigantic. When looking at the Pershing, we can nearly hide our cupola in the top. You're still able to achieve 300+ of armor in the upper part. Quite impressive figures. So what about the T42? Let's lower the turret. We directly notice that the cupola just disappears in the background. So we're looking at the armor around 300mm in the upper part. Here's 286. On the sides here, we're only able to achieve around 220 to 240mm, and the same here on the right side. Near the gun itself, you have values of around 230. And here we definitely have some impressive values of 450. The problem is that you cannot rely on your turret armor because it is filled with green areas everywhere. It really looks like a smashed mirror. And in addition, if you're not on a ridgeline and a tank is just looking directly straight at you, there's no problem for it to pen you. Your whole hull armor is not existing. Looking at the side, we reach around 70mm. When looking at the hull, around 76, and on the rear part 63 to 4. The same continues with here on the tracks, and of course with the exception of these areas. From the rear on the turret, 76mm armor, 40mm and 30. You might be wondering, what is this and what is not here? You can see that this tank is actually very nice here, but why it's not on the right side? It's simply because on the right side we have a viewport, which makes the tank less angle on the right side. This does that if you encounter this tank in the heat of battle with shells flying left and right, upper frontal hull armor has an impressive angle of around 80 degrees. First of all, hull armor is not existing. That's part one. The second part is that your turret armor is nothing special. Yes, if the enemy is firing 190mm penetrating rounds, yes, you stand a good chance. But then again, if you go just hull down, you have a gigantic cupola going to show. This tank is made for one thing. It's to work those ridge lines. All about the ridge lines where you can make this 10 degrees gun depression shine. But remember, if you show too much of your tank, you will be punished. The lower part of the turret, there's really no armor. And that is even with the AP shells of 190mm. Okay guys, let's take a look at a couple of gameplay replays I've just had today. Okay guys, so here we are on Prokhorovka in the T42. Keep in mind guys, this is the former artillery players that I've been playing against, and the wheeled car driver was there without the head. There we are. Okay. So right off the start, we can notice that we get a good indication of how fast this tank is when it gets up to speed. You can see the KV-122 is pushed by the lens and see. Friendly bump, I guess. This is a nice scenario. Whoa. This is nice scenarios, guys, where you get a good picture of how this tank fares in comparison to the lens and see. At least when we talk about how fast they go. The top speed is not an issue for this tank. It's just more about the horsepower per ton, as you notice. See you, Lanson. Goodbye. A bit of traffic jam there. Okay, let's see if we can get some use of this ridge line. A bit more pushing there. Yo. Jesus. Get away. Yeah. This was perfect start. We already lost more than half our life. Okay. Bounce. Finally a bounce from the Cheery. Now we're trying to see if we can work the ridge line here. What a start, guys. Just starting the game, and yeah. The thing is, I would like to test out more about how good the turret is. And yes, I'll go to the just to the left bush, 1 meter away, 1 meter to my left. But whoa, it's very skillful artillery player put a shell into me. Okay, T42 one into him. But for this battle, it seems more safer to actually be right here than in the bush, as they just keep on blind firing there. There's way too many turrets pointing that direction. Yeah, put in shell into the T44. Another attempt by the artillery player. Can we put another shell on? Yeah. And bounce another shell. Another one again. So far so good. Definitely need it now that my HP pool is so low. The good part is that because we can rely somewhat on the turret armor, it means we can take some bigger chances comparison to what we normally could. But keep in mind, guys, we are top tier here, so we are playing against tier 7s and 8s. If we were playing against tier 9 or tier 10 vehicles, I would definitely think an extra time. We'll get shell into the Tiger. bad aiming by me. So yes, if you're engaging the enemy tanks on a ridgeline and they're just like 100 or 50 meters ahead of you, and they're showing like the whole hull that we just saw previously, yes, the AP shell will be good. But suddenly when we need to fire a shell 300 meters away on a tank that is moving left and right, back and forward, then the APCR shell will definitely be that much better. Due to that they are so much faster. Okay, the Tiger pokes out again. Yeah, this time we could put a shell into him of 314 damage. Can I see? So perfect braking by the Tiger. Can we put a shell in? Come on. Ah. Okay, the start doesn't look very good. 4-8. We are behind already. With around 4000 HP. At least what is known to us. So 4 tanks behind. Our whole left side of the map here is completely lost. Put a shell into the cherry. Yeah. Hiding behind the building. So continue. Yeah. There we go. Switching to the AP shells. 150 HP left. Whoops. Panicking so much I'm driving into my teammates. The thing is, I don't even want to shoot at the EBR, to be honest. It's like just waste of ammunition. Okay, everyone just seems to die. Okay, this is quite a special scenario, guys. It's just me and my 2 teammates left. What can we do? Everyone is just pushing. Okay, put shot into the Pantera. If I just can put one more shell into him. Come on, come on. And more guns we can... yeah. Yeah, one left. So as we're watching my comrade getting slaughtered here by the very realistic EBR. Okay guys, so here we are on Studzianki in the T42. So we just saw the first battle. Where we took quite a punishment in the beginning, where we were not hulled down. We did not utilize the fantastic on paper turret armor that this tank has to offer. And then as soon as we did that, suddenly we were bouncing shots from left and right. But keep in mind, the tanks we were up against were tier 7 and 8. So on this map there's not that many ridgelines. So how will it work here? But saying not that much, it means there still is a ridgeline, and that is the one I'm heading for. Let's see if we can use that one. Because in general, guys, this tank has really no armor. If you just caught out in the open. No comments. Okay, let's see if we can put in a shot into the CS52 list. Yeah. Show a bit too much of my tank there. Hopefully I can do it a bit better next time. Come on. Okay, let's get the tank into position. We know he's looking at me. Can I get put a shell into him? Come on. Yeah. A bit worried about also the K90 spot, because usually they have some campers over there. So I want to show. Oh, we bounced a shell from the Prokhorovka. Nice. That's the thing. Normally in a tank I would just run away, but because this tank is new and because it should have quite good turret armor, and because I want to test it out for this for this review, I'm like taking an additional chance. Luckily, I bounced both shells. Yeah, bumps the shell. It's a bit shame that one didn't go in, because the CS52 list is a definite one shot. Would have been nice with the one less gun for the enemy. I would really like to continue pushing on the K line, but it's too dangerous. Oh, the Prokhorovka shot my teammate. Fortunately, we put one shell in, but it was just not enough. There's a lot of tanks. Looks like I'm alone against these three. Only chance I have currently is hoping that they think that there's more than just me here, because we have a fantastic push on the northern flank. But here I'm just all alone. Can I put in shell to the Prokhorovka? Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, the APCR shells have very good shell velocity. It's way easier to hit a tank when it is moving that fast with an APCR shell than if I'm using AP shells. Oh, there. Yeah. Get away, get away. Still worried about the K90. There we go. T42 is there. Another shot into the CS52 list. Can I put on? Yeah. Got 32 life left. Okay. Nice. Okay, suddenly we have a nice advantage. We are 9-7 ahead. I was just going to say 9-6, and of course then the tank dies. But it looks like we have a nice firm HP advantage of 3000. So I'd like to continue, but I don't know if there's just a T44 there. Yeah, most likely it's just him, because we can already see the other tank has been spotted on the map. Unless the project, of course, is repositioned, then I should encounter more. We'll get a shot. Yeah, there he is. Nice. Was a bit lucky that snapshot, I must. But the problem is now I cannot hide any. Now the T42 is also saying hello. So you guys see, if you don't hide your hull, you simply everything is just going to pin you. It's a bit shame that one didn't go in. So 9-9, it looks like our advantage is slowly disappearing, and I just got armour wrecked. And suddenly our gigantic advantage is disappearing. It's 9-9, we are 1500 HP on advantage to what we are aware of. And our T42 seems to be slaughtered on the F7, F8. I need to take out that T42. Almost, come on. I have only 260 life left, so I want to take too big a chance because the T... Okay, so good, our teammate took him out. I want to take too big a chance here because the T44 not only have... Well, he had more health than I had. Ah, luckily I can repair my armour right here. Okay. Nope. Can I put in... Yeah. Position is way better when the tank is not visible. Okay, that projector gets killed fast, and this thing is good. So 13-11 looks good. So we have the 2 tank destroyers, which last been spotted at the B0 and C0. Means they should most likely be spotted very soon by the Löwe. See if I can hurry that, see if I can get a shot in or two before they kill them off. Cruising around this 40 an hour. See, strange they haven't found them yet. Those tank destroyers. What? Ah! Okay, okay, this is crazy, this is crazy. I don't have HP. Luckily the SU-1 started. Okay, that was definitely on this was unexpected. Wow, it's only got 10s. What do I think of the tank? I must admit I'm a bit split. I'm a bit positive, frustrated, but also slightly disappointed. I think the 3D style is fantastic. I really like that you get 2 additional camouflagers that you can put on any tank. That's cool. And those 2 camouflagers looks very nice. I really like that you get not 4 but 8 crew members that has the free brother in arms perk. That is really a big thing. But the question is, would I buy this tank if I would not get the crew members, but you just got the tank without any camo, just the pure T42? Is it a tank I would buy? The thing is, that slightly frustrates me. If I did not take the time to look into the figures and analyze them thoroughly, then I feel I could be tricked to buy this tank with the promise of something it simply cannot achieve. And this I see several places. The first part is a premium tank that will help you earn credits. Yes! But this tank doesn't, because you cannot trust those AP shells. If you at least somewhat want to rely on a high performance in this tank, you will simply find yourself forced to fire those APCR shells, especially when you're suddenly facing tier 9 or tier 10 tanks. The 190mm of penetration is simply not good enough. It would be good enough if it had actually some shell velocity, but 814 shell velocity, and then expected to aim for the weak spots? The second thing is that the aiming time and dispersion looks awesome. The problem is that the values when moving the tank, it's worse than an IS-3. Yes, I know IS-3 is Russian and and it's a full member of the Russian Buyers Club, but it simply does not match up. So it's again a place where it just promises something it's not really performing, at least not according to the numbers that I see right on my screen here. And then furthermore, the turret armor, which says 216mm armor, it's a number you cannot trust. I personally feel T26 E5 Super Pershing has way better armor, because apparently this front here has 1 billion different angles. We're also able to see in those 2 quick examples that the general armor, if you're not in a ridgeline, everything just penetrates you without any problem. And when looking at the top speed, even without the turbocharger, it looks like a very fast tank, which it is when getting to top speed. The problem is more getting to the top speed. So yeah, if this tank was for sale without those special crew members, then I would not have purchased this tank. And the main reason, standard AP shells is simply not good enough. But you know, hey, it's just me. But as in the current bond, where you get the tank and you get 8 crew and you get the 7,500 gold, is actually quite good value for the money. You just need to ask yourself, is 8 crew members that has a free skill crew, meaning a free brothers in armor, perk, 1 3D camera, 2 2D cameras you can put for any tank, and then plus lots of the other bonuses, is it worth 7,500 gold for you? And to be honest, for 7,500 gold, I personally find it as a good package. So how many face bombs would I give the T42? The problem is, with the AP shell guys, I will give it 1. The AP shells completely destroys this tank, but if the tank only fires APCR, then it's definitely 3 face bombs. So how many face bombs am I going to give it? Well, I'm going to base it on how competitive this tank is in its best, meaning where you most likely will be firing 2/3 APCR and a 1/3 for the lighter enemies. This tank, T42, receives 3 face bombs. Okay guys, let's sum up. I hope that this review was useful for you to make your decision easier whether you should buy the T42, and if so, which package to pick. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching. This was my tank review number 12. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think of the T42 in the comments below. As always, if you like to see more crazy content from my side, feel free to leave a like or even subscribe. It's a big thumbs up for me and I appreciate it a lot. Cheers guys, take care and see you next time.